Hello YouTube, Lucky Man over here, and this time we are looking the fourth ship from past event from the Tempesta, and this is the last ship that Blackbeard commanded before he was taken down by the Oopsies daisy, I forgot his name. Bremen? Well, apologies. But Jane, and then Ranger, two sloops were fighting against Adventure. And Adventure was commanded by Edward Teach, also known as Blackbeard. This is all what I can now, based on what I can actually remember. Anyway, so Blackbeard had this ship called Queen Anne's Revenge that was once a slave ship, but because how much well-known and fame it had, Blackbeard had to abandon the Queen Anne's Revenge, and so he then took the sloop, I think this is a sloop, or something like that, bigger than sloop, and then rename it Adventure, and then come to the pirate hunter, who then commands ships called Pearl and Lime. He then finally found Blackbeard's whereabouts, and then decided to take some amount of crews from Pearl and Ranger, Lime, and then put these two sloops that were then renamed Jane? Was it Jane? Well, I don't have resources now next to me. And then Ranger. And then he then went after to the Adventure. If I recall correctly, based on the information I read, Blackbeard was somewhat still on the ship, while some amount of his crew were on the island, entertaining guests. But then someone noticed approaching sloops, and then Blackbeard had to make some so hasty retreat that he had to cut the anchor's rope in a rush. And then Adventure had to make some full broadsides, was it to the Ranger? Ranger suffered some heavy damage alongside with her captain, so the sloop had to retreat. But then the other man, I don't recall the name correctly, but was it Jane? Then the was approaching Adventure, and then if I recall correctly, Adventure did fire full broadside quickly, but because how close they were, Blackbeard then decided to board the other ship. But the man who was commanding that ship at the time surprised him with the full assault coming from below the decks. And with that engagement, the Blackbeard was perished. And so was the adventure as well. Now, as for the adventure's design, I have to say she is very particularly interesting. She kinda like holds this same Tempesta theme. What I'm mostly curious is about her hands. And that she's just wearing this one piece of clothing, I think, which is perhaps a common thing. Some of the ship girls. Mogador. Anyway, Adventure has more clothing than Mogador. But here's a one fact of detail I found. If you look carefully her hat, you can see the same emblem. Now, if we jump quickly to the Queen Anne's Revenge side, and this small detail on her belt, I believe, I don't know what's going on over this detail over here, it's gonna bother me a little, but this detail kind of represents to me, I think that it is part of the Blackbeard ship. And so, I actually think that this is very fascinating connection between the two. Now then, Adventure. How is her stats? Well, as you can see on my game, she is not yet complete. But because she is a submarine fleet, I think we are going to have to compare her for those Tempesta ships who are put into submarine division. Also, her submarine range. Anyway, as for her stats, if you fully level up her 125, her HP reaches 2120. Her firepower is very decent for the rest of the submarine class. 182. It should have been more impressive. There have been some better ones over there. Her reload is 185 and her evasion is 99. It's supposed to be. There's probably some better ones there. Her armor is light, her speed is 18, her accuracy is 179, her luck is 22, very poor, probably represents her historical accuracy. And her oil consumption is 6, but her ammunition is 2. As for her submarine range, it's either a demon holding the trident, or it is, I don't know. How should I describe this? Perhaps some kind of pixel beast? Or I'm gonna just go with the first one, is a demon holding a trident. I don't know. How do you see it? As for her armament, She has 2 of main guns, but combined she has in gear 1 first slot, how should I say it, first slot, she has 2 of the main guns with the efficiency of 120%, it's not impressive. And then we have the second main gun that is 115% for some goddamn reason. That is, and there is also 2 of them, so she has 4 DD guns. Okay. She also has access to auxiliary, but we will look for that soon. And extra auxiliary, of course. Now then, perhaps she is a sloop. Oh, also she also has some skin. I have to check again what was originally supposed to be. It did go some small changes on the animations, but I have to say, those small changes made me think that, yeah, it's not for my taste. So I decided to abandon that skin. Anyway, her skills. Here they are not complete. But first, let's go with the horror from the deeps. Ooh. The skill reads: when this ship enters the battle, every second for 10 seconds restores 2% of this ship's max HP. 5 seconds after this ship HP falls below 30% as a result of damage taken, or 1 minute after this ship enters the battle, this ship leaves the battlefield, or 60 seconds. Okay, that's a little bit troublesome. You only have 1 minute usage time for this ship, but I believe that also increases her own survivability if the match is taking too long, so she doesn't die too quickly. Anyway, the augment module. The version, it says, according to this, decreases the wearer's aircraft damage taken by 15%. When this ship enters a battle, deploys a shield, lasting 10 seconds, that can negate up to 6 enemy cells. Secondary cells, not the main guns, only secondary cells. If I recall how it works. Now then, augment module Horror from the Deeps Plus. How much does it change? When this ship enters the battle, every second for 10 seconds restores 2% of this ship max HP and increases this ship evasion by 1%. Can be stacked up to 10 times, so that's 10%. I think. So, right at the get-go, she heals. What? 12% her max HP? It's not bad if you ask me. Probably better one than the grunt stats, if I recall how it worked. But anyway, wrong ship to compare. 5 seconds after this ship HP falls below 30% as a result of damage taken, or 60 seconds, the ship enters the battle, fires level 10 special barrage. Very nice. When this ship leaves the battlefield. Okay. So this augment module does improve her defensive capabilities some degree. She can actually survive a bit longer. I approve on that. Now then. Dreams in the pirate's house. I wonder what kind of dreams. When this ship enters the battle, every second for 15 seconds increases this ship's firepower and reload by 1%. Can be stacked up to 15 times. Wait a minute, every second for 15 seconds. It takes 15 seconds to get max buff of this skill, okay? Every 15 seconds. This ship becomes immobile for 1 second and fires level 10 special barrage. Oh, it's probably that skull I have been seeing. Damage is based on skill level. If this barrage sinks an enemy, additionally performs level 10 special attack. Damage is based on skill level. 15 second cooldown between activations. Enemy hit by this attack have their speed decreased by 30% for 30 seconds. I see. So it takes 15 seconds to have maximum firepower and reload buff. I think. And every 15 seconds she becomes immobile for 1 second and fires level 10 special barrage. It's probably the skull-shaped cannonball volley I have been seeing. If this barrage sinks an enemy, additionally performs level 10 special attack. Okay, that's a kind of problematic. If you bring her to the level, so probably map their thing like I had. And these guns she is now currently holding, it's gonna not help her much, I think. But I think it's problem for their level. Being under level on a map that has airplanes and level 170 enemies, so good luck, adventure, good luck sinking anyone. Activates all out assault. Adventure once every 40 times main guns are fired. So like I think you're gonna need a 12 pounder to complete this one. Yep. This is gonna be a more efficient activating the barrage. I see. Anyway, she is not probably impressive, but on a voice-over video, I will tell my opinions and actually compare her for those Tempesta ships that are also part of the submarine fleet. I will see you there. Hello guys, voice over Lucky Man here. Tempesta Adventure, a submarine class. So, after a little bit of thinking, first of all, as much I want to compare her, it's kinda impressive that Royal Fortune still hasn't got any kind of augment. But this is now about adventure, so let's not go off the topic. So, adventure, how is she? Well, compared to the other Tempesta submarines they are now offering to us, We have now total 6. Yes, we have now 6 Tempesta ships that are now part of Submarine Division. And the video you see background is the Adventure being low level with her 4 guns and that hilariously funny looking barrage. Skeleton head, perhaps. So, also I have to say illustrators did some really good job drawing Adventure. Also her voice actor, named Yamada Misusubase, is also doing a really good job voice acting her. Props to that. Anyway, as for her stats wise, well, let's see. The Adventure versus Royal Fortune. Well, Royal Fortune has 2317, while Adventure has 2120. She loses HP over there. Same goes with the Dolphin. Dolphin has 2319. Well, Adventure is winning Vida. Some reason Vida have 2059 HP. So Adventure is more tankier than Vida, but Vida have skills, an alchemy module that improves some of her survivabilities. Yep. What a pain. Increases this ship firepower 15% when the battle starts, restores 8% of her max HP once per second for 5 seconds. 5 seconds after this ship HP falls below 30% as a result damage taken, or 45 seconds after she has entered the battle, this ship leaves the battle. That's the Vida skill, so yeah, Vida may have less HP, but she can actually heal herself very effectively. As for the Mary Celeste, she has 2563 more HP. And Amity, she is the tankiest of all. 2643 HP. Not bad for a ship. Now then, as for the firepower, well, surprisingly, Dolphin, who has 2319 HP, also has 212 firepower, while Royal Fortune, the Adventure has 182. So she might be lackluster, unfortunately, but she also has some skills that also increases her firepower and reload. And her barrage that also increases her, well, how should I say this? If this barrage sinks an enemy, additionally performs level 10 special attack. Any enemy hit by this attack have their speed decreased by 30% for 3 seconds. Well, hard to say. Well, she's in a rough spot, I have to be honest. Adventure can heal herself. She has an alchemy module. It improves her defensive capabilities. She has attacking power. It takes 15 seconds to have fully stacked. Buff. And every 15, and after this buff is done, and after that perhaps, She becomes immobile for just 1 second and fire special barrage. So, but anyway, if she has taken so much damage that she has only 30% HP left, she leaves the battle. No way. 5 seconds after this ship, HP falls below 30% as a result of damage taken. This ship leaves the battlefield, or 60 seconds after this ship enters the battle, fire special barrage, then this ship leaves the battlefield. Okay, there's two options. She either lost so much HP, she then makes hasty retreat, or if the match takes something like 1 minute, she will then retreat. Okay, I see. Something like what submarines are doing. Like, submarines, they have oxygen. Once that oxygen is gone, they will surface, fire some few torpedoes, 2 or 3, and then they make retreat. So Adventure is behaving same way like the rest of the submarines. She's in a rough spot. But thanks to her being Tempesta's ship, she is perhaps doing a lot more damage compared to the other submarines. But I don't know, does the submarines last longer on the battlefield, or does the Tempesta ship last longer on the battlefield? I don't know. I would love to test that one day. Once I have motivation to test that theory. And perhaps, yes, Tempesta ships can heal themselves, so they are more survivable than submarines, I think. As long as they don't die. So yeah, Well, she is optional to use on a second submarine fleet. She is an optional. She, She has less evasion than Royal Fortune. She has same amount like Vida and Mary Celeste. She has more compared to Amity. Well, I don't know. You can use her if you want. I'm gonna use her until she's max leveled and her armament is top notch, not something like blue cannons rest of the lifetime, or as long as this game exists. So, she's an interesting ship. She's a historical ship that partake the last battle that the Blackbeard took, so she's worth to collect. If you want to use her, go for it. If you want to have full Tempest of ships, well, 2 options. Second fleet, 2 Tempesta submarine fleets at this point, because there's now 6 of them. 6? What am I saying? Come on, man. 2 full submarine divisions composing only Tempesta ships. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Excuse me. Now, okay, that was weird. Anyway, so she is a very interesting one. She is extremely paranoid, perhaps also related to what happened to history, of course, I believe. Anyway, she is optional to use. She can survive some degree long, despite having just more HP than Vida, but I don't know, does Vida survive longer than her? I don't know. I haven't tested out yet. Anyway, I think I'm gonna end this discussion here. She is a bit a mystery one, I have to be honest. Even for me. Now I have to say thank you so much for watching. We are now coming to an end of this review video about Adventure. Last ship commanded by legendary Blackbeard. If you want to see more of my content, subscription is one way to go. If you want to also support this channel, hit the subscribe button and leave comments down below. And I believe after this we are gonna take a look... Was it Royal James? Last Tempesta ship? In the future. And after that I will think about going some random ones. That really fascinates me. And I think I already see one in the future. I think I already picked one already after Royal James. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment down below. My name is LuckyMan205. I wish you happy weekend and see you next time.
ごきげんよう、指揮官さん。ウォーミングアップなのに投稿してどうするの？